Thanks, Kayla. And as we take a look over my shoulder, it is absolutely beautiful out here. These conditions are very nice. The sun has started to peek out from behind some clouds that rolled in late this afternoon as we sit at 87 degrees, but we've hit day 19 in a row with no measurable rainfall. So no rainfall and it being really hot. That's why that burn ban from April 17th is still in effect until further notice. But later on in the show, I'll talk about an update in the drought status here in South Carolina, plus some rainfall we could be seeing this weekend to help with that drought. That's all I've got for now. Sending it back to Emma and Kayla at the news desk. The fires in Georgia are affecting the air quality here in South Carolina. The wind is pushing the debris and smoke all the way up here as we sit at moderate air quality as of right now. But after the break, we'll talk about some destruction Mother Nature is causing in Oklahoma, and I'll have an update on the drought status in South Carolina, plus some rainfall that could be happening this weekend after this. Thanks, Emma. And currently in Columbia, we're sitting at 87 degrees with only 22% humidity. And again, some wind blowing in from the west-southwest. But I want you to take a look at that 0% rain chance, because that's been the story all month here in April, is the fact that we've had no rain. As we take a look at that drought status update here in South Carolina, the red areas are indicators of extreme drought conditions, and the light, almost light orange, yellowish area is severe. So almost 99% of the state is suffering from extreme or severe drought conditions. As we take a look at the radar, now as you can see, this rain will make it all the way down here by tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. So we might be getting some kind of relief, but as you can see, it's got a long way to go and it's traveling fast. As we take a look at temperatures into tonight, 6 p.m. we'll be sitting at 85 degrees. Jump to sunset at around 8:02, go down to 79, and then by 10 p.m. we're sitting low 70s, and we'll start to get into the high 60s. As we take a look at the temperatures in tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. will be right at the low for tomorrow at 61. As we get to 9 a.m., right at 69, and then 11 a.m., that's when we jump right back into the 80s. Another hot day tomorrow, but again, that rainfall is coming tomorrow. We got a 60% chance of rain. And again, it's a little bit of rain. It's not going to wash away this drought, but any rain at this point will help. And Sunday we'll sit at 30% chance of rain. So not as much. Sunday we'll see a little bit of scattered showers and a little bit of thunderstorms as we take a look at that 5-day forecast. Saturday and Sunday talked about some rain, but the difference is in temperatures. With that rain, it's bringing some cooler air. So we'll sit at 78 and the high 70s into Tuesday. Tuesday we'll bring in some cloud coverage, and into Wednesday, we will see some morning showers. If you're taking your kids to school or you're headed to work, maybe wear a raincoat. But by lunchtime, the sun will be out. It'll be hot, and it'll be a beautiful day. But we'll sit right at 84 degrees on Wednesday. That's all I've got for now. Sending it back to Kayla and Emma at the news desk. Yeah, Grayson, it would be a beautiful day out on the course today. We're sitting right at 67 degrees, and as we take a look over my shoulder, get plenty of overcast with no % chance of rain. So no rain and no sun. Sounds like a perfect day on the course. But tonight, we're going to drop down into the 50s, low 50s, sit right around 50 and 51 degrees as we sleep. But later on in the show, I'll have just how long these cooler temperatures are going to last this week and the status of the drought here in South Carolina. That's all I've got for now. Sending it back to Grayson and Will at the news desk. Thanks, Will and Grayson. It would be a perfect day to pick some strawberries. Kind of wish Fernando would have brought me some, but we're sitting right at 67 degrees, and as you look over my shoulder, still plenty of overcast. But after the break, I'll have just how long these cooler temperatures will last and the status of the drought in South Carolina after this. Welcome back to Carolina News. It's time for weather. Currently in Columbia, we're sitting at 67 degrees with only 20% humidity and winds coming in from northeast at 6 miles an hour, but that rain percent is 0%. Now, looking at the drought status here in South Carolina, as you can see, the red area indicates extreme. The orange areas down there on the coast as well indicate severe, and then right here where we are, that's moderate, but this is the third lowest amount of rain we've seen from November to January in 131 years. That's insane. As we take a look at temperatures across the Midlands, York sitting at 64 degrees. In the middle of the Midlands, we got Richland, Sumter, Lexington, 66, 67, and down there in Barnwell, sitting at 69. It's the highest across the Midlands as we take a look at the temperatures into tonight. Now, if you're looking to go out tonight, maybe bring just a light coat. Maybe we're sitting at 66 at 6 p.m. You won't be able to see the sun go down tonight, unfortunately, but all that cloud cover, as we said, at 65 and 62, and then by 10 p.m., we're into the 50s as we take a look at the weather tomorrow morning. Now, this is when it's going to get a little bit chilly, so if you're taking your kids to school or you're on your way to work, definitely bring a little heavier of a coat. As we said, at 50 degrees at 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., and then 8 a.m., 51, but by 9 a.m. when you should be in work, it's going to be 54 degrees, and then 10 a.m. when you finally hit your stride behind the desk will be at 59 as we take a look at the 5-day forecast. Tuesday, baseball is taking on College of Charleston here in Columbia with a high of 73 and a low of 47. Gamecocks still looking to bounce back after firing Paul Maneri. Wednesday, high of 66, low of 43. Thursday, 72 with a low of 47. And Friday, finally, those clouds clear out and softball will play a series against number 7 Florida with a high of 77 and a low of 50. And Saturday, the sun really shines and the spring temperatures come back as we sit a high of 84 and a low of 55. That's all I've got for now. Sending it back to Grayson and Will at the news desk. I didn't have a prom my senior year because of COVID. I am the unk of the group as we take a look at that 5-day forecast. If you're going to prom this weekend, Friday, high of 77 and a low of 50. And this weekend, again, no clouds at all. Sun's going to be shining. Saturday, high of 84 and a low of 55. That's it for me. I'll send it back to Grayson and Will at the news desk. The winds have calmed down as of late, but if I step out and look behind me, it is a beautiful day. We're sitting right at 86 degrees. The low will get down to 59 tonight, and if you plan on walking to Colonial Life Arena tonight for the game at 8 o'clock, be around 70 degrees. Later on in the show, I'll have a burn advisory in effect in the upstate and across some parts of the Midlands, and some cooler temperatures sneaking its way in through the night while we sleep. That's all I've got for now. I'll send it back to Parker and Grayson at the news desk. Thanks, Parker. And yeah, I'm still in the greenhouse, and the weather is still absolutely gorgeous outside, but I'll have a burn advisory in effect in some parts of the state and some cooler temperatures sneaking its way in through the night tonight after this short break. Welcome back to Carolina News. It's time for weather. As you can see, still currently in Columbia, 86 degrees, only a 15% chance of rain with all the little bit of cloud cover we've got as we take a look into the temperatures across the Midlands. As you can see down here, we'll start with Allendale, Barnwell, and Bamberg, all at 86. I'd hate to be them right now. And Sumter, Richland, Lexington, 84 and 86 as well. But man, look at York, under the 80s. They were at 78. But now, the burn advisory in effect for parts of the upstate and Midlands, every area in the upstate except McCormick in the Midlands, York, Chester, Lancaster, Fairfield, and Kershaw all have this burn advisory. So if you're looking to burn any leaves or anything you have, just be careful because the spreading of the fire could happen quite quickly with the wind gusts being at about 30 miles an hour. As we take a look at the temperatures into tonight at 6 p.m. we'll be right at 82. And there it is, 7 to 8 is when you start walking to that women's basketball game, trying to see the Gamecocks make it to the Sweet 16. We'll be at 80 and 76. And by 10 p.m., by the time the game's over, we'll be right at 68 as we take a look for the temperatures in the morning. Now, this is when that cold front, a little bit of cool air comes in as we sleep. At 6 a.m., we'll be right at 51 degrees. At 7 a.m., about time everybody starts waking up, getting ready for work, 49. And 8 a.m., 48. And then 9, 10, we'll start to round out the 50s as we take a look at that 5-day forecast. Tomorrow, the Gamecock baseball team will be heading to North Carolina to face the Tar Heels in the Battle of the Carolinas, high of 60, low of 44. Tomorrow, Wednesday, 67, a low of 50. Now we jump to Friday. If the women win tonight, they will be playing in the Sweet 16 on Friday with a high of 88, low of 53. And Saturday, 63 with a low of 39. More cool temperatures coming in. But I'll have a little bit more and a surprise later on. I'll send it back to Parker and Grayson at the news desk. You know, guys, I actually don't have a dog, but I got a dog with me right now. Oh, you want to give me some kisses? Okay. I don't have a dog, but as we take a look at a 5-day forecast, we got some good days coming up to take your dog on a walk. On Thursday, we come back up to 81 degrees after that cooler temperatures, and then Friday, 88, and Saturday on the weekend, the temperatures will drop back down to 63 as Josie is giving me as many kisses as she possibly can right now. I'll send it back to Parker and Grayson at the news desk. Yeah, Jordan, normally I would say it'd be a perfect day out on the water at 81 degrees, but with that wind whipping around all day and the lake wind advisory just ending, I would not be on the water. Those waves would be way too much. But later on in the show, I'll have colder temperatures coming up and some rain that could affect your weekend. Send it back to Jalen and Jordan at the news desk. Yeah, guys, it is still every bit of 81 degrees out here at the Columbia Boat Show. It's so hot I had to take my jacket off and move locations, but these temperatures are not going to stay the same. I've got some rain coming in over the weekend and some below freezing temperatures sneaking its way into the beginning of next week after this short break. Carolina news. I'm still at the boat show, but I'm forecast as we look at what's happening right now in South Carolina. Columbia, we're looking at 81 degrees with a small chance of rain sitting at just 15%. The humidity has gone down since earlier in the day, but we're down to 39% humidity. And that wind from that lake wind advisory earlier is still kicking at 11 miles an hour heading west. As we look on across the state, current temperatures, you can see York, Chester, and Lancaster up in the high 70s. As we go down Fairfield, Richland, Lexington, Sumter area, 79, 80. And you go down even further, Allendale's looking real nice at 76. I wish that was the weather here at the boat show as we go to throughout the evening. A little bit of clouds still rolling in, sitting at 78 degrees, 6 p.m. The clouds are going to go away for a bit, get more sunshine than there already is right now at 77 degrees. But as the night continues and the moon rises, that cloud coverage is still going to come back and cover the night sky. Tomorrow morning, there's a chance of rain, low chance all the way up until 10 a.m. And 10 a.m. is when the chances really spike, sitting at about 45 to 50% chance, 10 to 11. And you're sitting right at about the low 60s all the way through the morning as we head to that Saturday showers during the day. There's a total of 70% chance of it coming through that 10 to 3 o'clock period. And then later into the night, I mean, it's 14% still that cloud coverage, and man, is it going to feel nice as we head into the 5-day forecast. Saturday, we talked about that rain. Sunday, 59, and here comes that cold front dropping below freezing for the first time in a few weeks at 28 degrees. Monday, 46, 24, and Tuesday, we go back above freezing, but at 35 degrees, we're at 50, and then for Wednesday, topping out at 64. That cold front is moving out the way, and we're going to get back to spring temperatures. Now, it is still hot, bright, and I am sweating here at the boat show, but I'm going to send it back to Jalen and Jordan at the news desk. Jalen and Jordan, I don't know about y'all, but my favorite ice cream has got to be cookies and cream. And you know what else is cold? That cold front that's coming in at the end of the weekend as we look at that 5-day forecast once again. Again, tomorrow it's going to be rainy up until about 3 o'clock. But Sunday, those temperatures drop below freezing. And then Monday, again, we're back at under freezing at low of 24. And then it clears out the rest of the weekend, the rest of the week as we come back to a shot of me. Shout out to Gamecocks Boat as I send it back to Jalen and Jordan at the news desk.